That time again, it's Math with Mrs. Peters, the crazy cat lady of Hiram High School. Today we're going to talk about the mean absolute deviation. And often we call that the MAD. Right? Now what I want you to notice is that we have two pieces of data here, and we have the same number of pieces in each set. And on top of that, our five number summaries are exactly alike. So I can't really compare these data very well using even a box and whisker because it says they're all the same, but there's obviously some differences. I have more twos here. I have more fives, okay, and more ones and more sixes. So that means my data is going to be very difficult for me to compare. Now, I want you to pay attention to this mean, because when we talk about the mean absolute deviation, we are talking about something to go around with this mean. We want to know how far away is our average piece of data away from that mean. So, with that said, I took my data, my pink numbers, and I lined them up down the page, and I took my blue numbers and I lined them up down the page. Now, we are going to subtract the mean. Okay, remember that was 3.6 from each piece of data in the pink group. We're going to do the exact same thing with the blue group. Remember, now the mean was exactly the same, so I'm just using 3.6 in both cases. Now, the absolute part of absolute deviation means I want the absolute value of these pieces of data. Guys, all of this can be done with your calculator. The only part you're going to actually have to calculate will be these numbers right here, and they're never that much difficulty. You can do it with your calculator. Now, we're going to look at the absolute value of those numbers. In other words, no signs. Okay, so here's my numbers, my deviations, or my differences from my set of data. And I'm going to type those into my list 1, and I'm going to come out with a mean of 1.68. I'm going to do the same thing over here with the blue data. I'm going to take those numbers, I'm going to get rid of the signs, I'm going to type them into my list 2, and I'm going to find myself a mean of 1.48. Those averages are my MADs, my mean absolute deviation. Now here comes the very important part. What does those numbers tell you? What does the MAD tell me? Well, the MAD actually tells me that the smaller the MAD, the closer all my pieces of data are to the mean. What this means is this MAD is larger than this one over here. The blue MAD, all my pieces of data are closer to my average. All my pink pieces of data are further away, on average, from my mean of 3.6. That means in my blue data, there's less change. My data is not as spread out. My pink data is more spread out than my blue data because my pink data MAD is larger. And that's all you have to know about the MAD. If you have questions, come to class. Be happy to talk with you. Take care now, y'all. Bye.